Rhizoctonia is the genus of this disease. And it has a look that could be a big round spot. That's showing up pretty good here. But you can see it's like something has just been sitting there. And this starts off small and it can expand, and then they can overlap and you can get different patterns. But this is actually in January. When it warmed up, we had 2 or 3 weeks of good warm weather, and so this disease came out. And so usually you can get some good pictures of this disease in St. Augustine grass during a big warm up trend in the wintertime. So that is one common disease. It usually occurs in the spring and fall. So we're kind of getting out of the brown patch disease period. Because this hot weather doesn't like it. But the good thing about this disease is it just kills the foliage. So it'll kill the foliage, but the stolons will be okay, and it'll come back. And sometimes it'll have like this little donut hole shape to it. This one has a little bit of a donut hole. You can see kind of in the middle. Some of your grass is already starting to come back. Donut. But this one can have more than one look. It doesn't always look like this. It's very common in all of our warm season turfs. Here's another picture of it. Look a little different. So you just can't always go by just one look. But this is basically a round circular spot. Sometimes the edges will be more tan. Maybe have a little bit of a reddish tint to it. So that's the same disease. And it can spread very large. But probably they say all the disease samples that they get in Athens, you have a disease clinic where you can send different types of plants to see if they have disease. 65% of what they get in turfgrass is this disease. And one good thing about this one is you can control that fungicides. But here's a picture of the patches just kind of merging together. And there's a picture of the blade of grass more close up. It says it has a foul smell when you have a lot of it. I've never smelled a foul smell. There's just another picture. And if you looked at it under the microscope, this disease doesn't produce any spores. But you will have this mycelium or hyphae that looks like this. If you can get this under a microscope and magnify it real good, you can see this hyphae that's got these little sections. So you can see the sections like right here and right here. And it usually comes in at about 90 degrees. And when you see it kind of constrict right here where it joins in, that tells you it's Rhizoctonia. So if you bring some turf in, or landscapers bring some turf in, you can look at that and pretty much tell. Of course, it likes high humidity, and fertilizing makes it go too. So it likes that young, tender foliage. So, and most people, when they have a problem with the grass, they go out there and water it and fertilize it, and that just feeds this disease. So, not a good thing. Control. A lot of fungicides will control this disease. Eminox, lots of different ones. All this is in your book that I just gave you. And you can look at that. Okay, watering. Just don't want to do the same stuff twice. Circulation of air. That can dry out some turf if you have some breezes coming through. If you've got an area in your backyard, you've got bushes all around and you've got trees up top, it just gets humid back there and a lot of airflow doesn't go through, so it stays wet. If you've got an irrigation system running back there, it's going to take a long time to dry out. If it just kind of stays moist back there, it's just like a perfect spot for turf diseases. So just try to get a little air circulation in there. Reduce thatch. Thatch can help hold moisture in, and it's a good place for funguses to live, and insects love it too. So usually centipede if you're mowing it correctly and not letting it get this tall and cutting it back like this and having like big piles of hay-like stuff out there. You'll be okay, because most of that foliage will decay, especially in our warm temperatures. So you really don't have a thatch problem with centipede, unless you're fertilizing it too much, that sort of thing. St. Augustine's a little different. You do probably need to dethatch every few years.